Hi, welcome to Heart to Heart. Just need to say, if you're new, we try and do these weekly. As you can see, we don't script them. This is our kitchen in the UK in Devon, and so you will get the ums and the ers, but you get an us. What you see is what you get is us.
Yeah.
So hello.
Okay. I was in the forum the other day, and sorry.
I said sure.
Oh,
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
Yes. Anyway, I'm sure it was in the forum the other day, and I was just looking at some of the entries, and thank you. I really enjoy isn't the right word, but I'm always heartened when I read the people writing in the forum. But one of the things that I was looking at kind of it disturbed me a little, not because of the people were writing it, but because people felt it, I think, and it was am I being disloyal talking about my drinker behind their back? Now I'm not sure if that's the exact words, maybe that's a paraphrase of it, but that's exactly what was meant, and there was a number of people who joined in on that one, and I was a wee bit worried about that one, I was a wee bit worried because it's like, it keeps people in isolation, that sort of thought, and the first, do you know what I mean?
Well, absolutely. I mean, what used to kind of stop me talking about it is, my first husband had sisters who absolutely adored him, my children, and that 2 years after my husband died was, the first time I really disclosed. I happened to do it publicly, which is quite ironic on a radio program.
Doing it on the radio program was probably...
But even then, I felt guilty. I felt shame, even though my husband was gone, because I might have been shaming him in front of people who loved him, or even people, It was even worse when he died, because I felt he couldn't stick up for himself. So it's a very deep feeling. It is a very deep feeling.
It is a very deep feeling, but I think what I have to say is that, if we're going to help here, we have to kind of completely reframe this. Reframing is a term that psychologists use for just looking at something in a different way.
Yeah.
That's all it actually means.
So this term, behind my husband's back, is the one that we really need to... We're going to put a cross through that. How can we reframe that?
I think betraying, behind my husband's back, all of these things. I think all of these phrases need to go in the bin.
Yeah, disloyal.
And the thing is, if you had another issue that was really troubling you, then you would probably turn to your nearest and dearest friends and sort of say, help,
Yeah, absolutely.
And yet with this one, you're not going to. But you see, part of what's at the heart of this is how people have looked at alcoholism or problem drinking for many, many years. And that's it. It's all about the drinker. The drinker's got the problem, and going, no, that's not quite true. I mean, there's an organisation in the UK who trot out a little saying on a regular basis that, an alcoholic generally affects at least 3 people. And we have to look at it that way, It's not just the drinker, it's the drinker's like throwing a stone into the pond, and the ripples all start to come out. And the family, and the family members in particular, are the ones who tend to be affected by it.
Yes.
The drinker less so, because they're actually intoxicated, so they don't see the chaos, the mayhem that's actually caused by it, But you, as a family member, are left there to sort of clear up the debris.
Yeah.
Emotionally, that's...
What's happening, I mean, I think also the real disloyalty that's going on is that your partner, in a way, has got a mistress, and it feels every bit as bad as if you've got a mistress that they go to, and they just drop out of your life, and they betray you and let you down and break your trust, and they go off with this mistress being extremely disloyal and betraying you over and over again. So they really are the ones that have set up this situation of betrayal and disloyalty. So you're then stuck with having to come out of this horrible atmosphere of denial and begin to say it how it is. But because you love your partner, it's hard because it feels as if you're shaming them, but actually they've shamed themselves. not you shaming them. They do things which are shaming. Their behaviour is shaming. So what would we say at that point? Don't pick up the shame. Don't pick up the guilt.
No, don't pick up the guilt. Don't pick up the shame. It's not yours to pick up. No. Leave it alone. Put that back. It's not yours.
Drop that.
Yeah, it's not yours. Put it down.
Yeah,
But I'm being flippant here, but it's natural to pick it up. It's natural that that you have shame and guilt by association.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I work with a lot of people. And yes, they feel this guilt, they feel this shame, and it takes an awful lot for them to stop feeling it, And that's about starting to build yourself, starting to build up your own life, starting to, detach from the issue. But part of building up yourself and part of detaching from the issue is about seeking help elsewhere. It's about talking to other people.
Yeah. When I work with people that have come out of addiction in their childhood, it's really interesting because you feel as if it's buried in a basement at the bottom of their life, And you have to go in and sort of open up the basement and help them to get out, because the motto of all of the childhood, if there's a drinker, is nobody talks about this. Yeah. Everybody keeps this a secret. Nobody knows what's going on. Yeah. And that's really, really deeply. So the person that then steps out of that and begins to tell the truth is breaking the taboo of the drinker's family. Yeah. And that's what you're feeling. You're breaking a taboo. But it's really important that you do. Yeah. Really, really important.
Yeah, sort of, as you were saying that, just remembering the film Fight Club. And if you remember, it was the kind of saying that was going about at the time was, the first rule of Fight Club is nobody talks about Fight Club.
Yeah.
And it's like addiction. Yes. The first rule of addiction is nobody talks about addiction.
Yeah.
And the problem with that, and if you've watched the videos, you've heard me say this many, many, many times, is that addiction thrives in secrecy.
Yeah.
It doesn't thrive in the light, it thrives in secrecy. Yeah. But that's another issue. The thing is, it's you getting help for the issues that you're facing. You wouldn't deny it to somebody else, so why would you deny it to yourself? The fact that you think, that you may say, well, I'm betraying him or her, is that you're actually not. To some extent, if you don't talk to other people, you're betraying yourself.
Yeah. So you're saying, try not to think about what you're saying to yourself and try and reframe it. And I do this a lot in my counselling room because often we describe something in a very toxic way and actually take the toxicity around and say to yourself, I'm saying it how it is.
Yeah.
I'm owning the situation and being real about what's going on. Little baby steps. I'm usually start with a really safe friend. Yeah. Start with a family member, but what you don't need is someone who then is going to go really sort of militant on you and won't talk to your partner ever again and all that kind of stuff. You don't need that sort of person. It's understandable that they might react that way, but the last thing you need is war in another bit of your family.
Pick something mature.
Yeah, choose someone who would understand that. That wouldn't be helpful. And just do be careful where you spill it. Don't spill it around in situations where it will rebound powerfully onto you, like dropping him in it with his boss or her boss. Yeah. That might give you satisfaction. It might be very real, but they might end up with their boss giving your drinker the sack, which is the last thing you want. So again, think things through, be wise. There's always, with all the emotions floating around with drinking, it's always good to take a step back and try and be wise about what you do.
Yeah. In a broader sense, what I would say is that in Bottled Up, what we try to do is we try to empower you, and that's what it's all about. But guilt and shame are very disempowering.
Yeah. So we hope that helps. Come join us next week for another one, and we look forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.